Previously on A Peaceful Life. In the last episode, we got to work and cleared a significant number of trees. We sold all of the logs and invested our profits in a new shed, and we even ordered a new tractor. Now we'll put that tractor to work and get ready for winter. Let's get started. Alright guys, what's going on? Needs more drums. Back here on our little homestead in the frontier. And we are just pulling up on the farm here. It is November, nearing the end of November. It's starting to get a little chilly outside. Winter is definitely upon us. And just want to show you guys a couple new things since the last episode. But first and foremost, sorry about my voice. I'm coming over a little bit of a cold here. Back home, there's been a lot of crazy weather changes. You know, it was 70 degrees one day, then it was 40 degrees, and you know, the other day, then it snowed, then it was back to like 60. Anytime the weather gets like that, I always get a little bit weird, you know, with in terms of you know, my health. So sorry in advance. But anyway, we got plenty of time today to get some things done on the farm, so I figured we would go ahead and do that. You know, we can still make some money during the winter. So that's what we're gonna try to do. We're gonna try to get some things sold, get some more cash in the bank, which, as you can see, things are looking pretty good. So if you remember in the last episode, we actually ordered this shed. We got it all put down here, and I got everything moved in here. And we also, the big news today is that we picked up the new tractor that we ordered at the end of the last episode. So it is in the shed here. We got our new John Deere 7810 parked right up there. If I could open that door. I got to do each one individually. But yeah, we got a few things with this. We got the tractor. We got a new you know, we got the new front loader. We got a bucket with that. And I think we also got something else. Oh yeah, we got a log fork over here. So in the meantime, since the last episode, I've just been doing a little bit more logging. I'll take a drive over there and kind of show you what I've done. But yeah, this thing is fantastic. I had a little bit, you know, was able to do a little bit of work with it. And so I love this tractor. It's perfect for what we need and kind of steps up, you know, the level of equipment that we can have on the farm now. So come springtime, if we got some cash in the bank and we want to, you know, start like getting a baler, for example, if we want to start making some silage bales instead of using the bunker silo, which I think is going to be the preferred method, we can actually do that. And this thing will have no problem running, you know, at least a small baler. I think it's like 175 horsepower or something like that. So way better than this little guy over here, which, you know, there are still plenty of uses for this on the farm. We're definitely going to get our use out of this. And we're going to keep, you know, working with this tractor, just, you know, doing some of the smaller jobs. But this one is going to, you know, take over some of the bigger equipment, and we'll be able to kind of upgrade our equipment accordingly. We have a lot of old used equipment on the farm. It'll be nice to get some, you know, still maybe used stuff, but some better quality stuff, some bigger stuff, you know, more efficient, things like that. So the first thing I'm thinking about is maybe like a new mower. This, you know, I like this. These offset ones are sometimes a little bit more difficult to maneuver, but no worries there. It's fine for now. We got our trailer parked up here. We got our log trailer just sitting here. I got to find a better place for that. But the plan today is to first sell the silage that's sitting right behind us over there. I want to get rid of that. I think it is see, they still didn't fix this problem here. Give me 1 second. Yeah, I'm just gonna set that to manual. They said in the recent update that they fixed the issue with the clutch and manual with clutch setting in the game, and every time I use my clutch pedal, it seems like the first time you get in a car, like it you know, you have to like change the controls or change the input or, you know, switch the setting or something. It still doesn't work right, it looks like. So I'll mess with that a little bit more, but for now I'm just gonna switch it to a regular manual mode here and forget about using the clutch pedal. This truck's an automatic anyway, but whatever. Anyway, yeah, you can see, so I'll talk about that on the left there in a second, but you can see over here on the right all of the land that we've cleared out since the last episode. So I was hard at work getting some logging done, and then even after the end of that episode, I came back, did a little bit more. You can see we got a few piles of trees that need to be chipped, which is something else we're going to get going today. And then we have a couple of piles of wood chips already. Just I kind of cleaned up some of the area where we've chopped down some of these trees, you know, grounded all the stumps. So now we have this nice new area, and you can see here this tree here on these two trees here on the left with the X's on them. These are actually outside of our land boundary. So I marked these, and then I kind of did another look at things and realized that these are actually, that these are not on land that we own. So I don't want to cut these down and risk, you know, something bad happening there with the, you know, with the county or something like that. So I'm going to leave those. We're going to have to wait till we purchase that land, but it's kind of nice. These serve as a nice natural border for us, a nice little marker. And so this whole area here, though, this grass area, you know, come the springtime, we can actually do some work on this grass area. We could, you know, I want to mow it. I'm going to cultivate it. We'll get something planted here. I think I might actually just plant grass again and just have it be a nice little grass field for us for the year. And then I have some plans for the future for like this entire area, but that's long term, you know, that's way long term. But for now, we're just going to do keep doing some arable crops. But this, I think we're going to do, we're going to make it to a grass area and, you know, really start making some money off of that. Like I said, why we need a baler and everything. And then if we drive over here, you can see on the right that I've marked a bunch of trees there, and I've chopped down a few. There's another pile of trees over here, and this was our original pile of wood chips. But you can see these trees that I've chopped down here. I went ahead and just kind of gotten rid of all those weird ones that that are not really conducive to you know, logging and selling at the sawmill. This area here, I'm not clearing out any of these trees because this is where we're going to put a house. And then over here, I've marked all of these. I'm going to cut all these down sometime, I don't know, probably not like right now, but just in the future. I went ahead and marked kind of the first batch of trees that I want to get cut down. So I want to leave all of these here kind of to the right, but at least, you know, like this one here I set as kind of the border. So everything to the left of this is going to get cut down. And I think if I go up here, there's like another tree that I marked. Yeah, this one here. So that I'm not going to cut anything behind this. So it's kind of like everything from here to the right is going to get chopped, because that is like the border of our land going this way. So my thought is, you know, if we cut these down, all of this, we already have some pretty open space here. We could expand this field out and make a nice square field, you know, kind of in this whole area. So that's my thought process behind that. I obviously am not in too much of a rush for that right now, because we have to wait for this to harvest this anyway before we can expand this at all. And so I'm just gonna, you know, throughout the spring of next year and stuff, just kind of slowly chip away, no pun intended, at getting these trees cut down, and we'll get this land all cleared up and you know, useful for us. But yeah, so the plan today is I'm gonna go ahead and sell that silage first, because I actually realized that silage, the price doesn't really change here. For some reason, I thought that the market fluctuated, and I thought that it would be worth more in the winter, but it's actually not. It's worth kind of the same all year round at about 120 bucks per 1,000 liters. So we're going to go ahead and uncover that silo, get all the silage. We're going to just, you know, throw it in the truck and make some trips to the farmer's market up there. I think they take it. I'll double check that, but I think they take it there. They take just about everything. So we're going to do that, and then we'll probably come back and in a month or two and just pick up, you know, the second half of the episode kind of after a short time. But I'll come back with a wood chipper and chip these trees, these piles of trees that I got laying around, and actually some of these small ones too, like this one, or, you know, some of these over here, like this one here in front of us. I might chip those as well, because they're just not really worth much at the sawmill, and they might be worth more as wood chips instead of, you know, just as the full logs. So we'll come back and do that. But that'll be a later time. But I know for a fact that the wood chips do increase in price in the winter. So if we wait another month or two to do that, that'll be good. And then third thing that I want to do today is look at a house that we can get built during the winter. So I don't know if I'm going to build it myself, or if I'm going to just, you know, kind of have some guys come up here and put it together. That's a lot of work for one guy, but if we can get it for a good price, might do that. And I think this spot right here is a perfect spot for a little house. You know, nothing too big, just something so that we can actually stay here, you know, in the winter instead of having to go back home every day like we've been having to do. So we're going to go ahead and see if we can do that. But we have some good money in the bank now. I just want to make sure that we have enough in the springtime to start looking at a baler, so we can start looking at those over the winter and, you know, kind of just have some time to think about that, find a good one that is going to suit our needs. And we also need to think about a bale wrapper if we're going to do silage. So 2 pieces of equipment that we're going to need, neither of which we really, you know, I just don't want to dump a bunch of money into that right now when we don't even have a house yet. So let's go ahead and get this silage loaded into the truck. I'm going to back up here, and I'm hoping that I should be able to do this relatively easily, given that we don't have a, you can see there's like this green grass still that didn't make it under the cover. But we'll see. But if I do uncover this, I know for a fact that we do have some silage here. There you go. Looking good there already and fermented for us. Let's go ahead and jump in the tractor, and we're just going to load this up and make some trips over to the market. And here we are, the brand new John Deere. It's not its maiden voyage, but for you guys it is. For me, I've been using this a little bit off camera. But yeah, I just want to make sure that I actually get the silage and not the random grass that's sitting in here. So this is actually going to take quite a bit. I'm hoping that we can do all of this today. I think this truck only takes about 30, no, not 30, I wish it took 30, 3,000 liters. So we're going to be going back and forth here, and we got 30,000 liters of silage. So we're going to do at least 30 trips to, nope, that's not right. That's not right. 10 trips. Math. Okay. 10 trips to and from the market here. Let's just go ahead and jump into a quick little time lapse, and we'll get all this loaded up and transported and sold. Hopefully it'll make us a nice pretty penny. And who knows, maybe even we might even start looking at a little trailer. I think that would be a really good investment. I just thought of that now, and it'll come in handy when we do our harvest later on in the summertime as well. So a nice higher capacity trailer with something more than 3,000 liters would be really good for us. But anyway, let's go ahead and get to work, and I'll talk to you guys in a minute. And all right, we just pulled back up to the farm here. And as you can see, the bunker silo is now empty. We didn't get, a ton of money, but we did get a few $1,000, which is not bad for some grass that was sitting here when we got here. So yeah, silage, it's a good moneymaker, but you also need a pretty significant quantity. And, that's really good, when you have a nice grass field and it's fertilized and, you got a good yield. But with this, this was a patchy grass field. We only got about 30,000 liters. So, it's not terrible. Usually grass, yields a lot more than what we had. So, definitely something to keep, progressing towards in the future. Like I said, I want to get a grass field on the farm, next year in the spring. So that'll be, and we'll actually, plant it the right way, fertilize it, make sure it's all, the maximum yield that we can get. And, that'll be really good for us, I think. So anyway, let's go ahead, and I'm curious how much chaff we have just sitting around. So as you saw, we didn't get all of it under the silo, just the way that the bunker silo is, and how the compaction was going. It just like didn't fit. So I wonder now if we kind of go back and try to push some of this in here, if it's going to actually, if we can get like a whole nother heap of silage here. I think we can. I mean, it looks like there's a decent amount kind of floating around that we could actually make something profitable, even if it's like 10,000 liters or something, or even 5,000 liters. I mean, that's, an extra few $100 for just some stuff that's just sitting around. We're going to go ahead and just clean this up a bit, But other than that, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and wait until January. I'll start looking at some house designs, looking at some balers, and most importantly, looking at trying to find a place where we can rent a wood chipper for when January comes around. We can you know, get those trees chipped and get that sold. So I will clean this up and head back home for now, and see you guys very shortly. All right, guys, and we are back on the farm. It is January, and I just want to show you guys what we just picked up this morning. So, unfortunately, I was looking at some of those Vermeer wood chippers, but they just didn't have any around here at the moment. And this is kind of a nifty alternative that I found. So this one actually hooks up right to the back of your tractor, and this conveyor belt folds out and just can dump the wood chips directly into a trailer or in a truck bed. In our case, it's going to be our little dump truck there, because that's all we got. But yeah, as you can see, it is it's a bit snowy outside. It's a bit cold, but not too cold. Only a 24, which is pretty decent by Chicago winter standards. What I'm used to. So can't complain there. But yeah, I mean, also, can we just take a second and just appreciate the weather effects in this game? This looks really nice. The snow falling, everything on the ground, the tire tracks, just a big improvement over the predecessor. So I'm really enjoying this. But anyway, back to the task at hand here. What we're gonna do is we're gonna fire this tractor up, go ahead and head over to the just over to one of those wood chip piles, or those piles of trees. I know we got one over there by that wood chip pile there, kind of right behind me. We'll head over there, and then we'll go ahead and grab the truck. That's the only problem, is we're by ourselves, so we gotta go walk back over here and grab the truck and then drive it over there and whatever. But no big deal. But yeah, we're gonna test this thing out, see how it works, and then start selling some of those wood chips, because like I said, they are at the highest price right now in January, and currently they're at almost like $550 per thousand, so almost like 5 times silage price for the same volume. So really can't complain there. Looking forward to this. I could even just dump all these into this pile right here, but I might just put them right in the truck. That might be a little bit easier. We already got the front loader hooked up here though, so we can make that really easy to transport. But let's go ahead and just see how this works here. So I believe all that we have to do is unfold the wood chipper, and then it should so then we can just adjust. Oh, there we go. Oh, that was a little bit, it's gonna mess with my bucket too, but whatever. Yes, we can just do that. There we go. That's much better. All right, cool. So we'll just go ahead and kind of pull this up. I'd say we'll try to park it right between those trees there, so that we can just back up the dump truck and just throw this stuff in from the side. But yeah, let's go ahead and see how this works. I'm very curious. And yeah, I'm glad this thing's got a 4-wheel drive, because thank goodness snow's not too deep. But it's a little bit sketchy with the terrain here, given the weather, but we'll survive. Yeah, so if we park this up right here, we should be able to just load this right in directly. We'll go ahead and jump over to the tractor now. Go ahead and turn this on. We'll fire up the wood chipper, I think, too. There we go. So that should work. And now all we got to do is just pick one of these up, and let's see if we can get this in here. Of course, I find the biggest one. There we go. Feel like something like this. Not quite sure where that just went, but it went somewhere. I think some of these small ones just kind of disappear and don't actually give you anything. So we're just gonna try. We're just gonna see. I wonder if I use like one of the you know, for example, like if I picked up one of those. Oh, there we go. That one got us something. Yep, perfect. That is working as intended. So cool. All right, we're gonna just power through this here, and you know, Throw some more of these in here. Yeah, just like that. See, they're just kind of getting destroyed, as they should be. But no worries there. So anyway, yeah, let's just come and do a little time lapse here, get through these, and we'll you know, once we get a full truckload, if we get a full truckload, we'll head to the sawmill and go and sell these, or the farmer's market actually. Then we'll take them to the sawmill. And all right, we got all of the logs chipped. Actually, we headed over here and got those 2 piles as well. We didn't quite fill the truck, so I'm gonna go ahead and jump in the tractor again, and we're gonna shut off this. We're gonna fold it up. Oh wait, whoop, nope, 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 no. That's not how I thought that was gonna work. Okay. Anyway, we'll fold it up now. Let's go, we're just gonna disconnect this and then grab our little bucket here, and we'll just start loading up these wood chips into the bed and start making our trips over to the farmer's market, which is nice because it's not quite as far as the sawmill. So we'll be dropping these off super quick. It's already 11:20 in the morning, still snowing pretty good. Looks like it's starting to clear up a little bit, but yeah, it was a good amount of snow in the morning, and it looks like they're calling for some more later on in the evening. So yeah, we're just gonna drop this. I'm actually gonna turn this around and back this in, and we're just gonna drop this in the shed. We'll return it. We have this on lease currently, by the way. We spent about a little under $700. I think it was like $670 some for this wood chipper. So we will return it on our way back tonight. But for now, we'll just leave it here in the shed. All right, so truck's full. We've got a lot of wood chips sitting around this farm here, so it's gonna be a minute. Let's just go ahead to the market, see how much this one load is gonna get for us. As you can see now, the snow stopped, which is okay. Ground's still all covered though, so I gotta be careful. Roads are a little slick. Roads aren't maintained anyway all the way out this way, so again, good thing we got this truck with us. Let's go ahead and drop this off. All right, just pulling up to the farmer's market here. I believe that all we need to do is drive over here, and we should be able to dump these right here, I would assume. Yes. I'm guessing if math checks out, we should get about a little over $1,500 for this, and it looks like, whoa, that is more than I thought, actually. Almost $2 grand per load. I'll take that. Oh, there's Noah's truck. Must be buying something there at the market. Maybe we'll see if he's got some work for us later on. You know, maybe we'll give him a call, see if he's got some work for us in the springtime, because you know we got a lot to do on our farm, and we also can use some extra money. So, especially because Walter still hasn't paid us. Pay him a visit later. I would like our little bit of money. Looks like he hasn't planted anything in the field yet, but even so, we can actually get a little bit of cash in our pocket. Gives us what, I think $1,000. Sounds about right. At this point, I'd take a little less, but whatever, man. Can't always get what you want. So we'll talk to him later, see if he's got some cash. But anyway, let's just go ahead and jump into another quick little time lapse. Actually, you know what? I don't even think I'm gonna do that. I'll just talk to you guys once we are all done going to and from the market with all these wood chips here, because it's, you know the deal. We're just gonna load this up and just make a few trips back and forth. No need to watch that. So I'll just let you guys know once we've done that, and we'll talk about what's next and see how much how much cash is in the bank. All right, we are just getting back to the farm here after I lost count of how many trips we've made, but check out the bank account. About 68 grand. We get about 1,900 bucks every truckload, so every 3,500 liters of wood chips gets us about almost 2,000, which is awesome. And yeah, as you can see, it's starting to snow again, so I think what we're gonna do is call it here for the day, not for the episode, but for the day. We're just gonna head back a little early, go look online. I wanna look at a trailer, like a dump trailer or something. You know, it'll come in handy in harvest season. It'll come in handy now. These small truckloads of wood chips are not. I've spent more time driving than I have actually, you know, loading up the wood chips and selling. So, yeah, I want to head back before the snow really hits us, because the last thing I want to do is get caught out here at night in the snow. So, and we're running low on gas, so I want to make sure I go home and get some gas. But yeah, we'll come back here in the morning and keep on keeping on with the wood chip sales. But yeah, like I said, I'll go look at a trailer and see if there's something that I could pick up between now and tomorrow. I might get something for the truck. I might get something for the tractor. I'm just gonna see what's out there. It might be worth it to actually get something for the tractor if we're gonna be you know, if we're gonna be like doing any you know, like our grain harvest and all that. So we're gonna see. I'm gonna see what's out there. But yeah, I will talk to you guys in the morning. All right, and so as promised, we're back here the next day, pretty early in the morning. But yeah, I actually found a trailer for sale that was super cheap. Only cost us like 5 grand. Not bad. And I think it has a 10,000 liter capacity, which is fantastic. You know, already 3 times more, well, just about 3 times more than what we got in the truck here. Unfortunately, we can't pull it with the truck. We have to pull it with the tractor only. It just has the, you know, kind of hitch on it. But either way, that'll save us tons of trips to the sawmill. And it's funny, the colors of this trailer actually remind me of a funny story that I could tell while I'm doing this here. But basically, when I was a kid, one of my friends had quite a bit of land, and we used to go and set up paintball fields at his house. And he had this little grain trailer, kind of like that. Maybe, you know, it was a little bit smaller, actually quite a bit smaller. It was meant to be pulled by like a lawnmower or like a really small tractor or something, you know. But it was funny because we put this grain trailer in the center of our paintball field, and you know, it was so low we could jump up in it, and so we use it as kind of like a, you know, attack and defend type game. And you know, we were, you know, one team was in it and then the other team had to try to capture it, you know, when we were paintballing, and we were shooting bottle rockets out of it. And we looked, and then all of a sudden we realized that the field was on fire. we were throwing all the bottle rockets and set the field on fire. It was hilarious, you know. We're sitting there, we're laughing, you know, or well, we weren't laughing at first. We were freaking out and trying to put the fire out, you know, stomp it out. And his dad comes over, just laughing, you know. And he's like, "What are you guys trying to do? Burn the field down, you know?" And we were just like, "Oh, you know, sorry." He's like, whatever, you know. And we put it out, and it was no big deal. But it was hilarious. We were so dumb. But yeah, so that's why it was this blue grain trailer. It's just like this, you know, same little colors and stuff, just a bit smaller, or maybe it was green. But either way, I don't know. In my mind, it might have been kind of a bluish green, maybe, but whatever, close enough. This made me think of that, so I'm glad that we were able to get our hands on one of these. And already, this is gonna be so nice for us, not having to, you know, drive back and forth so many times to the market to drop off these wood chips. And speaking of the wood chips, I mean, look at how much money's in the bank account already. We already made, like, what do we have when we started this? Like 40-some thousand, and now we got 62,000. I mean, these things are really profitable. I'm actually kind of surprised. I didn't think they would be worth this much. So I'm really happy about that. I think we're gonna make some great money. We still got a pile behind us, and the big pile from the start up over there. And actually, I'm gonna go ahead and grab this little pile here. I've been kind of picking these up as I go. I know I left some laying on the ground, but I mean, I'm not gonna get like every single one, because we're gonna mess with this ground anyway, and you know, cultivate and grow crops on it and everything. But still, it helps. You know, every little bit helps. It's just more money, so why not, right? But yeah. With that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and just keep doing this, and I'll drop a load of this, you know, a few loads of this off, however much it takes to get it all sold, and then I will talk to you guys once we've done that. But yeah, just wanted to show you guys our new little investment here, and this will be good for the fall too, or for the summer whenever we gotta harvest our crops. So it can haul just about anything, which is fantastic. So can't complain there. But all right, I'll talk to you guys soon. And all right, guys, we just wrapped up getting the last of the wood chips into the trailer, and we had a small amount that was still kind of sitting around, so I just threw it in the dump truck. So we'll go take that after this. But I just wanted to show you guys real quick how much money we've been getting per trailer load, which has been very nice. This trailer was a fantastic investment. We've already basically paid it up. Well, we paid it off in the first trip, pretty much. So yeah, lots of money in the bank. This is shaping up to be a really good income source for us, just cutting down these trees and selling the wood chips. So just from grinding the stumps down, you know, just a byproduct that we wouldn't really deal with, and now we're making tons of money off of it. So definitely not to be overlooked. But yeah, let's go ahead to the market. We'll dump this last load, and then kind of wrap things up here and just talk about what's in store for the future. All right, we're just pulling up here. And the nice thing about these trailers is the old gravity dump. Really easy to use. Just pull up here. And it'll just open the chute right on the side. Farm stick's being a little weird there, making my camera bounce around like crazy. And there we go. And check it out, 5,500 bucks from just one trailer load of these wood chips. Not too bad if I say so myself. So definitely in the future, we are going to be, you know, grinding down all the stumps and saving the wood chips, and we'll sell them every winter, you know, until we're done clearing trees, which honestly, I don't know when we're going to be done with that. So let's head back to the farm, wrap things up. All right, just pulling up here, and it looks like I think that's Walter's truck sitting over there. So let's go and see what he wants. Maybe he's finally got our cash from our little contract work that we did a while back.
Hello, Mr. Drums. I believe I owe you some money.
Hey, Walter, it's good to see you. But yes, sir, that is correct.
Well, here you go. $1,000 as promised.
Thank you very much. I knew you were good for it. I've just been real busy around here, you know, and I didn't want to bother you. But yeah, let me know if you need any help with anything else. Otherwise, I'll see you around.
Sounds good, and thank you. I'm sure I'll be taking you up on that offer.
All right, see you later, Walter. All right, and that is really nice to have that sorted out. Got that in the account now, so we're good to go there. Yeah, you know, I'm happy to help him out with anything in the future. I know he's just getting a little older, having trouble, you know, getting some of the work done around the farm, you know, that he used to. He doesn't have a lot of land, so it doesn't matter. Not too much of a responsibility for us, you know. But anyway, we'll see what's up in the future. But for now, I'm just going to go ahead and throw this trailer probably around here. It's on the side of the barn here. I'll just kind of come up next to the bunker silo and throw it over here up along the side so you can't see it from the road. Already, I'm kind of limited on shed space, so it looks like we need to get maybe a bigger one as I crash into it. Yep, that's nice. Anyway, yeah, this is about it for today. This is kind of all I wanted to get done in terms of the winter. I just wanted to get some of that stuff sold. So now all we need to do is think about a house. So I'm gonna go ahead and I already know what I'm gonna do with that. I'm gonna get some builders out here over the next couple months, and we'll have one probably thrown up pretty quickly, you know, by the springtime. Which brings me to my next point, is that I am gonna take a little hiatus from this for just a little bit. We'll come back in the spring, and I guess it's only a couple months, but yeah, there's nothing else to do here in the winter. I mean, I don't really feel like chopping down all those trees. I'd rather wait until we get the crops off of the field, because I don't want to risk, you know, dropping a tree in the field and then we have to, you know, go and like deal with that. So, you know, I don't want to damage those crops in any way. So I just want to take it easy for now. We'll come back here in the springtime. We'll spread everything in the shed, come back in the spring and start doing that grass work. We'll get that new field cultivated over there, where we just cleared all those trees. and then hopefully we can get, we can get a baler now that we have a ton of money. So that'll be really, really nice, a good investment for us. And we'll also get a bale wrapper as well, so we can, properly make some silage to sell in the next year. I will return this wood chipper for now, so we're not going to be using this for anything soon. So I'll get this loaded up on the trailer when we head back, return that. But yeah, other than that, that is pretty much it for this episode. So thank you guys so much for watching. It's been a great day, a very profitable day. I'll still go ahead and drop off those last few wood chips in the dump truck on the way back home for the night. But yeah, other than that, I will see you guys in the springtime, and we'll get started on next year's field prep and start thinking about what we want to do in the next year in terms of crops and stuff too. So plenty to do. I will talk to you guys soon, and in the meantime, hope you guys all have a great rest of your week. Thanks again, and peace out.